Hello everyone, welcome back. In our last part, we were able to create our logics and download it into the ESP8266 and then also create our tags in the Kepsware server. In this part, I will show you how to test the tags, create the HMI interface, and then also link the tags to the SCADA software so that we can test our example. Let's get started. Kindly subscribe if you've not done that already, and also press on the notification bell. This way you'll always be notified whenever I upload new video. Okay, so now with the tags completed, let's now test the tags and see whether it's able to connect to our ESP. So to do this, you click on the runtime and then you click on connect. You click on yes and then you click on save. Select no encryption and then click on OK. Okay, so you can give it a project name, ESP _ HMI. Make sure the project name and then the connectivity name are the same. Other than that, you have issues with connection. Click on save. Okay, so with this completed, we can now click on the quick client to test our tags. Now you scroll down to ESP HMI device. Okay, great. And if everything is okay, you should see all your tags showing good, and then we can see our default value, which was 20, and then we can see all our boolean also there, indicating that we are connected to the ESP. So to test this, I can activate the sensor to see whether the sensor value changes states. So we can see the pulse sensor here showing logic 1, and we can see that if I take my hand across it, it goes to 0, and then when I take it off, it comes back to 1. Our system is working fine. We can close this. So the next thing is for us to create alias. In the old version, which is the Kep server version 5, you need to create your own alias. In the new version, we have auto-generated alias. So if I right click here and it's not selected, this is how it appears, and it will be asking you to create an alias. You can also activate the auto or show the auto-generated one by clicking on it this way. Now the alias that we'll be using is the ESP _ HMI .device1. But remember, SCADA cannot handle this dot extension, so this is the alias that has been created, ESP _ HMI _ device1. So we have to note down this, and then the next thing to do is to activate the suite link. You have to right click on project and go to properties, and then you click on the fast DDE suite link, and then we need to enable this. So you click on it, drop this one, and then go to yes to enable it, and then you need to note down this server runtime, so you can copy that, and then you can click on apply and then OK. So we are done with the setup within the Kep server. We now need to open the SCADA and do our design, and then after that we can link. If you have SCADA already installed, go to the icon and double click on it to start. Okay, so we have the SCADA started. The next thing to do is to create a project. So we go to file and go to new, and then we can show it a location where we want to store our project. It's okay, we move to next, give it a project name. So this can be our ESP8266, and then we can give this name ESP8266, and then you click on finish. So we have our project created, ESP8266. I double click on it. Okay, so we have the interface here. We need to provide a window. So we click on this and right click, and then you say new, and then we give it a window name. So this is going to be my main window. So main, you can add a comment. Everything remains the same. You can change the background color. If you need more information, you watch my previous tutorial. Click on OK. We can drag it a bit, and now we need to add our items. We need to add start, stop, and then our motor. Okay, so to do that, we click on this, we go to buttons, and then we add our start button. We can copy, paste. So we have our start, we have our stop. We can change this to stop. we have our reset. Okay, now we can bring our motor, because we'll be turning the motor, and then the display. So with motor, we need to go to the symbol factory, click on this, say OK, and then we can type motor. We select any motor of your choice, and then you click on OK. We need to add an indicator to indicate the motor is on, light, and then I select this very one. Can reduce the size, and we need to add a display value so that we can see our counts. So I go to value display, and then select analog tag name display. We can draw a box around it to make it a bit attractive. Copy. And then we'll add a slider to change our max count. So I select this one, I say OK, reduce it a bit. Great. So we have our simple HMI display. We now need to assign the tags. Okay, so to do this, you click on this, and we give this tag a name. So this can be our start, because we can give it a tag name start_ESP, and then click on OK. To add is not defined, you said OK, and then we need to specify where this tag information is coming from. So you click on type, and then remember it's coming from our ESP, which is connected to CAP server. So it's an IO discrete, because it's a boolean input, and then we click on OK. Then we need to show it where exactly it's getting the information from, and this is what we term as the access name. So for now, our access name, we click on access name. We can realize that access name has not been created, so we say add access name. Okay, so basically the access name and then the topic is the alias that we just created, which is ESP_HMI device 1. So we can type it here, ESP_HMI_device 1. The application name is the name that we copied from the property, which is when you come here, you right click, go to property, and get fast. The server runtime name is what we need to put there. Okay, so here is server runtime, and then the topic name is this very name again, and then we click on OK, and now we have our access name created, so we can close, and then we can see that the access name has appeared here, indicating that it's picked, and then we need to specify the address that we use in the CAP server. Okay, so if we go to the CAP server, and then we go to our devices, these are the tags, and these are the addresses that were given to the tag. So I'm creating tags. I'm creating the address for start, which is 5 zeros and 1, so I need to specify it there. So here is going to be 1, 2, 3. So I copy it. With all this set, I can now click on save, close this, and then when we double click and check, we realize that it's created. We need to assign that of the stop. So this is our stop _ESP. Type is also discrete, IO discrete, and automatically with that, because we've created for 1, it's already created. The access name is picked, but you need to change the address. This address is 2. You click on save, and then you can close. We do same for the reset. And then we click the type, IO discrete, and the reset is 3. We click on it, close. That is done. We need to then assign the motor. So this is going to be my motor _ESP. Our motor is 4. Click on save. I can copy this, use it. Click on close. So that of the motor is created. I can then assign it to this, because I want this motor to blink. But you realize that when I double click on it, I did not get the property. It brings me back symbol factory. So to do this, you need to right click on this, and then go to cell break. Now that is broken, you can now go to its property, and then I can select blink, and then assign the light tag to it, and then I say okay, so that whenever the light comes on, it will start blink. So I need to assign the holding register to this. So this is my count. So this is my count value. I say okay, and then I choose the type. Remember, this is not discrete, this is a word, so I have to select IO integer. And because this I've not assigned anything for integers, I need to do that. So I select the one I just created, and then you can close it. It's now specified, and then I need to specify the address. Remember, the address for it is 400,001. Click on save, close this, and then the get type format, I need to change it because it's a word. I will not get decimal, so I have to select this, and I have to assign the same for this as well, which is my count max. So it's also a word, which is an integer, and this is at address 2. I click on save. Great, so we are done. The next is for us to set all this button properly. So I double click on this. Remember, this has to be reversed, and then I can change the colors to as well, red, green, and I have to do the same for the reset. So now we are done. Okay, so now let's change the colors of the stop switch as well. So off will be green, and then the on will be red. We click OK with everything set. Now let's move on, and then click on the runtime. Okay, great. So we can see, we can first click on the stop, and basically we can see that our start, our stop, and then our reset, and we can see our initial value, which is 20, has already been registered, indicating that our system is connected to the KEP server. We can open the quick client and then put it side by side. Okay, so we can see 20 here, and we can see 20 right here as well. Okay, so we can see everything is set. Now if I press the start, the system starts, and we can see as the rotation is going on, our counter is increasing. And it reaches 20 and resets back to 0. If I press the stop, the system stops, and then if I press the reset, the value reset back to 0, and then I can increase the count value to as well. Currently as 20, and then we can see that I've increased it to 37, and then I press the start again. We can see the system running. Perfect. So viewers, we've been able to design an HMI and then link it to ESP that is being programmed with OpenPLC. There's a lot of projects you can do out of this. Thank you all for watching. See you in the next tutorial. Bye bye.